everybody, and thanks for stopping in on another one of my PGA DFS top 5 videos for the Awesemo.com YouTube channel. And here I'm back with my top 5 values for the Genesis Invitational. What a field and tournament we have in front of us here this week. But before we break into that, we're going to go ahead and go into Transparency Corner here for a minute and talk about last week's recommendations and start off with a good one. Or I should say the number one value that I had on the board was Max Homa. Ended up coming inside the top 10 with a very good week. Nick Taylor and Mark Hubbard also making it through the weekend, and at their measly salaries of $76 and $7,200 were good values on the board. But a miscut from Rafa Cabrera-Bello and Stuart Sink made it only 3 for 5 last week. We're going to look to improve upon that here this week. And the number 5 value that we're going to start off with on the board is Doug Ghim. And man, what a season and turnaround Doug Ghim has had. Possibly given a little bit of an extra boost from COVID coming last year, and what happened was he was having a really bad season, but he was given a free, basically, season on the PGA Tour this year and has had made the most of it, playing very well lately, including the 21st place last week there in Pebble Beach. That's followed by his first top 10 on the PGA Tour at the Farmers as well, so really good form for Doug Ghim. The Desert Classic a couple of weeks ago, so really good form for Doug Ghim coming in. Has never played here at the Genesis Invitational. It became an Invitational last year. His first year on the tour was not in good enough standing to get in. This year, he is in good enough standing to get in, so look for the native from California, went to Texas. Look for him to play well this week. In terms of his strokes gained numbers, he's been getting it done on the approach as well as around the green and on the green. 27, 54, 55 in the 3 numbers. Off the tee, however, needs to improve, 147th. Okay, my second best value on the board this week, Chez Reavie. What a guy. Last week, 11 under at the 3 rounds at Pebble Beach, 2 over on Spyglass for a finish at 9 under, the same, one better than Doug Ghim's 8 under, I should say. He came in 16th last week, and he's kind of a form in history guy. Well, he's got 2 top 10s here at the Genesis Invitational, including last year's top 10, coming in off of similar form. Does have a missed cut or 2 mixed in there, so if you do catch an out-of-form Chez Reavie, make note he could miss the cut. But at $7,000 flat dollars, coming in off of a good form, a good week last week, especially with the putter, I'd like him to continue that this week, especially with how good his approaches have been. Top 25 on tour, or I should say top 26 on tour, ranked at that number. 100 around the green, his putter, brutal, 224, 154 off the tee for Reavie. Now, if you're looking for somebody that's really good off the tee here this week and playing good golf, well, let me introduce you to my third value of the week, and that's Cameron Davis. Has only 1 missed cut here a couple of years ago. Couldn't play here last year, did not have the qualifications, but he has been in incredible form for a guy that was really struggling to make cuts last year, even though we knew he was uber talented and had every piece that you needed to be a PGA Tour golfer. Well, he didn't have quite it, but this year, only missing the cut at the RSM Classic, you'd have to go all the way back to the workday to find his last missed cut. So that's, almost 10 or 15 in a row, or I should say, with only 1 missed cut. Third, 32 and 14 in his last 3 starts. So at 7,500, Cam Davis, absolute great play here this week. Okay, next. Oh, and Cam Davis, I want to mention his off the tee game. 14th off the tee this year, 57 on the approach. Needs to work on a short game, 186 around the green and 128 putting. Okay, for my 4th best value on the board, this guy has come out of nowhere and is really implementing himself as one of the best golfers on tour right now. And that's Carlos Ortiz. Coming in at $7,800 this week, Ortiz has made every single cut starting here at the Genesis Invitational, including a 26th and 9th in his last 2 starts here, plus the 4th place finish a couple of weeks ago at the Waste Management. Carlos Ortiz has looked good in all facets of his game. As we check in on his strokes gained off the tee, 36th. Approaches, that's maybe the one suit that if you catch a hot week with him, you can expect him to have a good week. If you do not catch a hot iron week, still, he's got a good around the green game, 51st, and a good putter, ranked 57th. So he's got plenty of ways to mitigate a bad approach game. I like Carlos Ortiz a lot here this week. All right, last, the best value on the board this week, undoubtedly. I don't know why this guy is priced where he is, but sometimes we don't fight price. We just play the guy when, especially if it's a good play. And that is Viktor Hovland. $8,700 for Viktor Hovland this week. He's coming in off of incredible form, too. It's not like he's done anything bad recently. Of course, he had that win at Mayakoba earlier. Then, of course, he had the 6th place finish at when he went overseas for a couple of weeks. So, again, it's a matter of price here. Is ownership going to follow for the 13th ranked golfer in the world? It most certainly will. But since the Mayakoba, he's done nothing but coming 1st, 3rd, 31st, 2nd, 6th. I mean, that's pretty impressive. You want to know his last missed cut? Well, you'd have to go about a year ago, the Honda Classic, which is almost exactly a year ago. That's the last time he didn't see the weekend. So at $8,700 in your cash game formats, I just don't see any other reason not to play this guy. We look at his strokes gain numbers, 7th off the tee this year, 74th on the approach. I expect that to absolutely improve over the next little bit. 60th around the green. That's a vast improvement. That's massive from where he was last year, and likely why we saw the win at Mayakoba and also the other top finishes. 130th putting, he's not ever going to be the best putter, but that's because he gives himself so many opportunities at birdie, so many more quality birdie looks than the rest of the field. He has more opportunities to lose strokes putting than he does gain it, so wanted to bring that up there. So that is going to cover my top 5 PGA DFS values for the Genesis Invitational. So 5-1, let's go ahead and review quickly. Ghim, Chez Reavie, Cameron Davis, Carlos Ortiz, followed by Viktor Hovland. What a good tournament we have in front of us, and hopefully these values will set you up for a solid week. Again, putting in all these 5 values gets you almost every single person on the board except for Dustin Johnson. So a really good start to your lineups here. Use a couple, use them all, use 3. For me, in my value cash type builds, I'll try and get in at least 2 or 3, if not 4 of these guys. So until next time, everybody, my PGA DFS sleepers and fades will, of course, follow this in the next coming of days. Of course, make sure you like and subscribe to get notified when they do come live. So until next time, everybody, thanks for joining the PGA DFS top 5 values for the Genesis Invitational, and we will see you next time. Cheers.